This particular class I want to discuss asymptotes of hyperbola. First of all, what is an asymptotes? Asymptotes of any curve. Asymptotes are tangents to the curve at infinity. They are tangents to the curve at infinity. Then they are called asymptotes of that particular curve. Okay, in case of especially hyperbola, you know the line y is equal to mx plus c. The line y is equal to mx plus c is a tangent to the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Then we know the condition as c square is equal to a square m square minus b square. So that is the condition. This line is a tangent to this hyperbola, and where that line touches this hyperbola, the point of contact is given by minus a square m divided by c comma minus b square by c. So what we discussed about asymptote? Asymptotes are tangents to the curve at infinity. That means this point of contact, tangent, touches the hyperbola at infinity. That means this point of contact we have to get at infinity. That means c value must be equal to 0. So that means for asymptotes c must be equal to 0. But when c is equal to 0, what happens this one? You will get m is equals to plus or minus b by a you will get. But then what is the equation of tangent? Now those tangents at infinity becomes y is equal to plus or minus b by a into x. So now I can say x by a plus y by b is equal to 0 is one line. The next line is x by a minus y by b is equal to 0 is another asymptote. So for the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. The asymptotes are given by x by a plus y by b is equal to 0 and x by a minus y by b is equal to 0. Now these two asymptotes combined equation is x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 0 is the combined equation of those two asymptotes. Now here information is, sir, okay, for this hyperbola we got the asymptotes as this one. But what about the asymptotes for the conjugate hyperbola? As hyperbola and the conjugate hyperbola have the same asymptotes. Now you can observe here. So whether you observed or not, asymptotes are always passes through the center of the hyperbola. Asymptotes are always passes through the center. Now this is an hyperbola. And this is a conjugate hyperbola. For hyperbola or conjugate hyperbola, asymptotes are same only. So that's why we got the information here. X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. And the conjugate hyperbola equation also you know. This is the hyperbola equation. And you know the conjugate hyperbola, that is x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to minus 1. And we got the asymptotes equation as x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 0. Whether you observed or not, hyperbola plus a conjugate hyperbola is equals to 2 times asymptotes. Whether you observed or not, hyperbola and their asymptotes are differ by a constant only. Hyperbola and their asymptotes are differ by a constant. Okay, now that is the discussion in case of standard form. But what about in case of an oblique ellipse? The same conditions we can apply for oblique ellipse or oblique hyperbola also. Ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 is the equation of hyperbola. Then is asymptote's equation is given by ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c dash is equal to 0. Why? Hyperbola and their asymptotes are differ by a constant only. Now I can take the conjugate hyperbola equation is ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c double dash is equals to 0. So from this what we can say, c plus c double dash is equals to 2 times c dash. From this I can write c minus c dash is equals to c dash minus c double dash, that is equals to say some constant k. Suppose we have the equation, you can observe x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 0 is the combined equation of pair of asymptotes we got, and x square by a square minus y square by b square minus 1 is equal to 0 is the equation of hyperbola. Then the conjugate hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by b square plus 1 is equal to 0. That means for this constant, that constant is suppose k here, for conjugate hyperbola the same constant is becoming minus k. So that's why with that information now we can discuss another important idea here. That idea is if L1 is equal to 0 and L2 is equal to 0, these are the two equations of asymptotes. L1 is equal to 0 and L2 is equal to 0 are the equations of two asymptotes. Then the hyperbola equation is given by L1 into L2 plus lambda is equal to 0 is the equation of hyperbola. If this is the equation of hyperbola, then the equation of conjugate hyperbola is given by L1 L2 minus lambda is equal to 0, because L1 into L2 is equal to 0 is the equation of asymptotes, and this is the equation of hyperbola. Then this is the equation of conjugate hyperbola. The reason is hyperbola plus conjugate hyperbola, we have to get the asymptotes, right? So that is about the discussion regarding asymptotes of a hyperbola. As we discussed, so this is one asymptote. That equation we got y is equals to b by a into x, and this is another asymptote. That equation is equal to y is equal to minus b by a into x. These are the two equations of asymptotes. Now let us say the angle between these two asymptotes is equals to 2 theta, right? But if 2 theta is equal, that means tan of 2 theta, what we can write? Because I am assuming angle between these two asymptotes is equals to 2 theta, tan of 2 theta is equals to, m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 into m2. Now this we can write further as 2 into b by a divided by 1 minus b by a whole square. Now I can write this one as 2 tan alpha divided by 1 minus tan square alpha. Just I am taking tan alpha is equals to b by a, right? Now I can write this one again as tan 2 alpha. So we got tan 2 theta is equals to 2 alpha. That means 2 theta, which is nothing but angle between two asymptotes. 2 theta is equals to 2 into alpha. That is equals to 2 into what is alpha? Alpha is nothing but tan inverse of b by a. because we got tan alpha is equal to b by a. Therefore, I can write alpha is equal to tan inverse of b by a. Now you can observe here a simple idea. This angle is alpha and we got this one as b and this is a. According to the Pythagoras theorem, we can write this one as a square plus b square. Now the same answer I want to convert in terms of secant inverse. Or in terms of tan means opposite side by adjacent side, we got opposite side by adjacent side. But suppose if you want to write in terms of secant, what happens? Hypotenuse divided by adjacent side. That's why we can write this one as 2 times secant inverse of root of a square plus b square divided by a. Now this root of a square plus b square is nothing but, because this is the condition, you know, b square is equal to a square into e square minus 1. So I can write b square plus a square is equal to a square into e square. So that's why here if you write a square into e square, a cancel, we are getting 2 times secant inverse of e. So 2 times secant inverse of e is the angle between asymptotes. So angle between asymptotes of hyperbola, we can say 2 into tan inverse of b by a, or we can also say it as 2 into secant inverse of e. Right? Now, what is a rectangular hyperbola? Rectangular hyperbola means length of the conjugate axis is the same as length of the transverse axis. Transverse axis length and conjugate axis length must be same. That means A is equals to B. When A is equals to B, you will get tan inverse of 1. What is the tan inverse of 1? Pi by 4. That means 2 into pi by 4, that is equals to, you will get pi by 2. So in case of rectangular hyperbola, angle between asymptotes is equal to 90 degrees. Array, this is equals to 90. But what happened? This one is 90 means you will get secant inverse E is equal to pi by 4. Therefore, E is equal to secant pi by 4. That is the reason for a rectangular hyperbola, eccentricity is equals to root 2. Or otherwise, b square is equal to a square into e square minus 1, we are saying a square b square cancel because both are same. That's why e square minus 1 is equals to 1. Therefore, e is equal to root 2 in case of a rectangular hyperbola. So, for a rectangular hyperbola, eccentricity is equal to root 2 and angle between asymptotes of a hyperbola is given by 2 into tan inverse of b by a, or we can also write it as 2 into secant inverse of e. So another important point in case of these asymptotes. So this is one asymptote. No doubt asymptotes always passes through the center of the hyperbola. Now this asymptote equation is y is equal to b by a into x, and this asymptote equation is y is equal to minus b by a into x. The particular point is for the asymptotes. This is transverse axis and this is conjugate axis. Transverse axis and conjugate axis respectively, the angle bisectors between asymptotes. The angle bisectors between the asymptotes are transverse axis and conjugate axis. These two are the angle bisectors between the asymptotes. Now here we got an hyperbola equation. This is the hyperbola here. Right? So you can take any point on the hyperbola. Parametric equations of hyperbola, you know, x is equal to a secant theta, y is equals to b tan theta. Now that is a point on the hyperbola. From this point onto the first asymptote, this is the perpendicular distance. Let us say that one as a d1. From the same point P onto the second asymptote. This is the perpendicular distance. Let us say that one as a T2. Product of these two distances. What about the product of those two distances? The product of the perpendicular distances from any point on hyperbola to their asymptotes. Okay, you can check there. The first equation is bx minus ay is equal to 0, and the second asymptote equation is bx plus ay is equals to 0. Now tell me, from this point on to this asymptote, what is the perpendicular distance? From this point on to this asymptote, the perpendicular distance is given by AB into secant theta minus AB into tan theta divided by square root of b square plus minus a whole square, that is the perpendicular distance. Again, from the same point onto this line, that means this line, what is the perpendicular distance? You will get AB secant theta plus AB tan theta divided by square root of b square plus a square. So these are the perpendicular distances. But these are two perpendicular distances, multiplication required. Now see, AB taken common, secant theta minus tan theta into secant theta plus tan theta, multiplication secant square theta minus tan square theta is equals to 1. So that's why we are getting numerator as a square b square, denominator, and we are getting a square plus b square. So this is the product of the perpendicular distances from any point on hyperbola to their asymptotes. Next, another important point here is, so we are seeing the asymptotes, right? So this is one asymptote and this is another asymptote, and let us say this is the hyperbola. This hyperbola, right? Any line parallel to the asymptote, a line parallel to the asymptote, you can draw anywhere a line parallel to the asymptote, that line meets the hyperbola exactly at one point. A line parallel to the asymptote of the hyperbola always meets the hyperbola at only one point. Now another question here I am asking is, we are drawing a tangent to the hyperbola. This is the tangent drawn to the hyperbola. Now with the help of this tangent and the two asymptotes, we are getting a triangle or not? This triangle area. Yes, we can find out the equation of tangent as x by a into secant theta minus y by b into tan theta is equals to 1. And you know the equations of asymptotes. Here point of intersections find out, we can find out the area of a triangle. But just I am discussing in a special case. So now I am drawing the tangent at vertex. This is the tangent drawn at the vertex, right? Now we are getting the triangle or not? So this is also asymptote and tangent form a triangle, this area or any area, right? So how we are getting this line is a tangent to the hyperbola. Here also the line is a tangent to the hyperbola. So tangent to the hyperbola with their asymptotes, we are getting a triangle. What about the area of the triangle? You know very well, this point is a comma 0. And this line equation is y is equal to minus b by a into x, and this line equation is y is equal to b by a into x. Now what about this particular point, that is a comma x is equal to a, you will get y is equal to b, whereas this point is a comma minus b, and this is origin. Not required all these also. What about this length? This length is equal to a, and what about this total length? 2b, right? So this is B and this portion is also B, 2B. So we got to get the area of this particular triangle, half into base is equals to 2B, height is equals to A. 2 cancel, we are getting area of the triangle is equal to AB. So that is the way of discussion of few points related to asymptotes of the hyperbola. Next class we will try to discuss a few questions based on hyperbola. Okay, bye bye.